Give it a minute. Got my little studio going on with my Circle water bottle. I'm on a 100-day challenge. Other than a celebratory toast here or there, I'm doing good. I'm over, I'm at 40 days right now. 40 days of the 100. Oh, we got Bill Irish on. That's all we need. Bill Irish is all we need. How are you, Bill? While we wait for other people. Let me move this tab to a new window. Now, what I want to know is if I can shrink this. Oh, it works pretty good. I just figured out a trick. I think. Okay. Yeah, I hear you, Bill. We need the weather to warm up. It's horrible. I guess we can go. We have 3 people right now. That's better than nothing. All right. So I'm going to try a bit of a different thing this week. I would rather have this be kind of like an open forum. I didn't do the subject letter for the newsletter because I want to see what people talk about here. And I guess I'll start taking notes. You know, I gotta go. Here, I got a piece of paper. We can talk about cold weather. Meanwhile, nobody's jumping on today. All right. So this weekend we have the 9-ball doubles local qualifier B and 8-ball doubles local qualifier B at Ho-Ho's. They are Saturday the 14th for 9-ball and Sunday the 15th for 8-ball. 8-ball is booked. I think on the 9-ball is not. So if you're looking to try to qualify and you haven't done so yet, we're going to take 4 people, 4 teams. Yeah, there's 21 teams right now. So we're going to take 4 of those teams and put them with the other 4 teams that already won. And then we're going to have our qualifier, our Vegas qualifier at that point. So if you're not signed up for 9-ball, do so if you're coming for 8-ball. We look forward to seeing you. Congratulations to our 8-ball doubles winners: Pocket Speed, Bad English, Savage, and 2 Guns. Hi, Dylan, Jimmy, Ron. So if anybody has any ideas for the newsletter, let's hear it. I think I'm going to try to make this meeting more of an open forum. That's why you only have me. Alex is here, but she's just kind of hanging out. And we haven't been fighting lately anyway, so there's no entertainment value that I can bring to you. Just maybe her wisdom, but she's not willing to give it, I suppose. So that's that. Um, so our winners, our finalists for this, were qualified for the Facebook 8-ball doubles finals. Were Pocket Speed, Bad English, Savage, and 2 Guns. The competition was really good this weekend. It was not easy to get through the bracket. Let's see what our rules are. Okay, I would like this to cooperate a little better. Hold on while I get my screen figured out. Working on it. I can't move. Let me try moving this up here. Try shrinking this down. There we go. Now I can see what I need to see. She's more fun in the meetings. I'll let her know you said that. That's reason enough to have her right there, don't you think? Alex is more fun in the meetings. I am making a note of that. Okay, so our rule reminder for this week is shooting the wrong balls. Till somebody gives us something to talk about. Somebody comment on something you want to talk about. Occasionally, a player will foul by mistakenly shooting the wrong category of balls, an 8-ball or the wrong number ball and a 9-ball. The shooter may avoid a foul by asking the opponent which ball or category of balls to shoot. If asked, the opponent must answer honestly. The shooter hits the wrong ball. A foul occurs as soon as the wrong ball is struck, regardless of whether the ball is pocketed or not. If a foul is not called before the shooter takes a subsequent shot and makes legal contact with the ball of their actual category, an 8-ball, or the lowest number ball, 9-ball, it's too late to call a foul. In addition, the following rules apply depending on the format. Hey, Brandon. If a foul is not called before the shoot, once a player makes legal contact with the 8-ball, the player assumes control of the category of wrongly pocketed balls and can win the game by legally pocketed balls by pocketing the 8-ball. In addition, if the sitting player does not call foul before the opponent's turn ends and subsequently contacts the wrong ball during their own turn, both players will assume the new category of balls for the remainder of the game. Any balls pocketed prior to the foul being called will be marked as dead balls, except for the 9-ball and 9-ball, which will be spotted. Suggestions for tournaments. Have them on consecutive weekends. For many of us, alternate weekends with our kids. So let me get this straight. So you're suggesting, but that's how they are, aren't they? Like this weekend last weekend we had a doubles qualifier. This weekend we have another doubles qualifier. Suggest have them on consecutive weekends. So you're saying don't have two in the same weekend? So like well, actually I think we kind of did that. We had two 8-ball qualifiers. Now the 8-ball qualifier, the 9-ball qualifier fell with a weekend in between, but I can consider that. Try to have tournaments on consecutive weekends. Weekends. Do we have a team shooting out of Gogglesville Fire Company anymore? Yes, we do. I'm sure of that. I can check what night. Let me look. I'm looking right now for this Gogglesville Fire Company. Host location's fine. Bear with me a second while I look for this. I must not be spelling Gogglesville right. It must be G-O-G. Oh, there it is. There is one active team out of Gogglesville, and I'm guessing they play on a Tuesday. Let me look. Yes, we have one 8-ball team on a Tuesday. Connorsville Fire Company shoots Tuesday nights 8-ball. He must mean Gogglersville Fire Company. What do you mean with maybe the singles regionals? Those are always the first weekend in October and the first weekend in March. That is an APA event. So, okay, so Jimmy, so what you're saying is instead of having the 8-ball straight to Vegas one day and the Jack and Jill the next day, have them on 2 different weekends. All right, I understand what you mean. I can do that in the summer session. Um, Dream Team example. I can make that change. Yeah, Brandon, that's the singles regionals are determined by the AP. There isn't anything we can do about that, and they make us have them on the first weekend of October. And they used to give us some leeway, but now they're getting really picky with it. What else we got? Any other questions? I need a subject for the newsletter. So far we have talked about the weather and how the weather has been cold and how everybody hates it. And my kids both weekends for 9 ball. Oh, they were because they were 2 weekends apart. Okay, I see what you're saying. I'll make a better point of that. I didn't really give that too much thought. You mean like the tri-cups? Like the tri-cups do that. Like one weekend they'll be on a Sunday and the following weekend they'll be on a Saturday, but we always spread them out. Okay, so you're talking for the small cash tournaments. We are trying to add more tournaments. Like for example, we added the Moscone Madness tournament. Captain's tournament is coming. Um, there's another tournament that we were talking about bringing back, but I can't remember what it was. Meanwhile, while you guys think of a subject for the newsletter, our bylaw corner. You will play at the skill level on the score sheet app closest to match time. This is particular with the makeup matches going on right now. A lot of people are like, what skill level do I play at? Well, if you were a 4 in week 5 and then you decided to reschedule to week 8 and you're a 5 now on the app, you must play as a 5. It should come up in the score sheet anyway, but that is our bylaw corner. Our quote of the week is: a positive attitude gives you power over circumstances instead of your circumstances having power over you. I get that from people on skill level a lot. They're like, oh, like we'll have a player go from a 4 to a 5. This player has been shooting at a 4 level, a 5 level, for a good amount of time before they went up to a 5. Nobody goes up to a 5 on one match or a 6 or whatever. People are like, oh, I want a good match and you move me up. No. It takes several matches to shoot above your level to get you to move. So we'll get it like, oh, no, I'm a 5. There's no way I'm a 5. I just got lucky one week. It's like, no, you didn't get lucky one week. You earned your spot. But if you think you're not going to be a 5, you're not going to. Oh, the Mid-Atlantic qualifier, that's got to be added to the schedule. Don't I have that in there? I thought I had that in there already. Let me look. Yes, the Mid-Atlantic Challenge qualifier is June 21st. I'm expecting that to be basically like one team matches. Instead of having a draw, we're going to have you come out and try to earn your spot, which is, people were saying that they didn't get a chance. They didn't care for the drawing. So back to the quote of the week. So we get this all the time. I see players go from a 4, and they were monster 4s, and they go to a 5 and they keep right on going because they believe they can. And then I see other players are like, oh, there's no way I'm a 5. I don't know how I'm going to survive as a 5. It's like you've just had 4 out of your last 8 matches at the 5 level. The only person that doesn't think you're a 5 is you. Like the team this weekend, although it was a joke, the name it was We Should Be 2s. But if you have that attitude that you should be a 2, then you're going to play like a 2. People play to what they are trying to be. Like, for example, if your captain says, oh, I can't have you go to a 5, so you have to stay a 4, so you have to lose this match or lose that match, you're going to stay a 4. You're never going to be a 5. And then when the time comes where you get the triannual and you're playing another 4 that shoots like a 5, you're screwed because you don't have the ability to play as a 5 because you've been practicing playing as a 4, and you're going to be so good at playing as a 4, you're going to be a 4, and then that 4 that shoots like a 5, that's your opponent, is going to whoop your butt, and then you're going to come crying. It's like, oh, well, there's no way that person's a 4, blah, 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 blah. Just saying. A positive attitude gives you power over your circumstances instead of your circumstances having power over you. That quote was by Joyce Meyer, whoever the heck she is. I'm a monster forum. Mediocre 5. A subject to discuss may be what qualifies you for playoffs, Tri-Cup, and regionals. How many matches? Okay. That would be for the bylaw corner, but we can do a reminder. What match qualifications are MAT's match qualifications are for triannual and WPC. Okay, Jimmy, I'll put that in the newsletter. So Ron Walker, how we find it did. Okay, so you guys must be discussing how you find things in how you find the schedule. The way you find the schedule, it amazed me how many people did not know what time the tournament started, yet they were able to register for the thing. Right where you register, it tells you what time the tournament starts. Yeah, we had probably at least a small handful of people call us up and ask us what time the tournament started. It was kind of a head scratcher there. What else we got? Anybody else got a subject for the newsletter that I could put in there, or anything they want to talk about? I'm going to give it one more minute, and then if we don't get any more conversation going, I'm going to jump off. But anyway, going forward, you guys that see this on a pretty regular basis, I'm going to try. I want this to be more of an open forum. I want you to answer ask questions. If something's bugging you, if you think a rule is stupid, if you had an issue where somebody wouldn't shake your hand, something like that. I mean, we could talk about that. Speaking of that, etiquette. There's a difference between losing and being a loser. There's no crying in pool. Everybody loses from time to time, but only losers badmouth their opponents, refuse to shake hands, or break their cues. Don't break your cue. Send it to us instead so we can sell it on eBay. Alex and I, we go back and forth on this. I can talk about that. I can talk about that for sure. Barb, I got your thing about how about being honest on fouls. I know in your situation, and by the way, that team was spoken to about that. That's a touchy thing because 99% of the 99% of the time, the person is not lying. They're wrong, and they certainly might be wrong, but they're not lying. And then we always have those couple people that are cheaters, and we will throw them out of the league. We threw a cheater out of the league about several weeks ago, and there's another cheater that I'm trying to get thrown out of the league right now, but I can't get Alex to back me on it. So I will put that in there. So far I got cold weather. What determines your qualification for, what are the match qualifications for triannual and WPC, and being honest on calling fouls? I'll talk yeah, I'll put that in there. I'll put a little thing in there. I don't know, Barb. When I talked to the person, yeah, I don't know. Well, they were warned. If it would have happened again, where somebody else felt that they were lying, then we would have addressed it. It's your word versus theirs. So, and that team didn't get much further anyway. I I know that you felt that like if they had won that match and then they won the tournament, they would have won it by cheating. Sometimes you win on wrong calls. We saw a girl. I'll never forget it. It was at the riverboat. It was the finals for Jack and Jill, and the the eight ball was right next to another ball, and she chose to bank the ball, and it was a bad hit, plain as day. But she never saw the bad hit and called it good, and she won the trip to go to Vegas. Um, but she wasn't lying. She just didn't see the bad hit, and that goes with having people watch hits. I could talk about that too. Hey, William. Ron, that is how the we did the Midland. We had a tournament to send teams. No, last year we did the first year. Oh, we had a tournament to send teams. Oh, maybe we did. I don't remember. And then we didn't. We got a whole lot. Oh, that's because the Mid Atlantic Challenge was much smaller. The first year we had a handful of slots, and this year we had 10 or 11 slots. And the year before, when we had all those slots, there was only maybe 13 people that were interested. So that's why it was made into a drawing. And then this year we had about 18 people for 10 slots. So basically, what happens is we'll make it where um, two people we'll do a drawing, and maybe two people will get lucky and won't have to play anybody, and the other rest of the teams will probably have to win one match. But it's still better than not having a chance at all, and we can get behind that. Why not a tournament to get into the 81 challenge? Well, for one thing, Sean, where will we put it? The second thing is there's about 15 teams for four. I don't know. I could talk to Alex about it. Um, I might make it though. If we do, I don't know. I'll look at that. So what is the format there? It is a race to five. Um, in the 81 challenge, if I remember right, because I haven't gone to it for a while, that's a race to five, and you roster five people, and it's random draw, right? Is that how that goes? And then it's one rack. Maybe. I kind of like that idea. Now, we won't have it for the spring one because it's too late for that, but maybe for the fall one we can. I'm okay with that. All right, so listen, guys. So I've been on for 25 minutes. That's long enough for 1 week. So we're going to have this forum every week. I like this idea. We're going to have forum every week. Um, and so if you guys have anything you want to talk about, if anything you have anything you want to see in the newsletter, 3 rounds race to 8 games. Um, maybe I'll have to give that some thought. I will call you when we're done, Alan. But anyway, so if you have any ideas that you want to add for next week, please let me know. And thank you for watching. Somebody bring a controversial subject next week. I like them. All right. Anyway, as Alex would say, be kind. Can we have the big dog at Wummelsdorf instead of Ho-Ho's? Um, no. We have the big dog. The reason we have the big dog at Riverboat is because Connie runs them, and we have to send some tournaments to Ho-Ho's. So this big dog will be at Ho-Ho's. The next one will be at Wummelsdorf. I mean, at Riverboat. That's the one tournament that Alex and I we don't we try to keep tournaments going for you guys all the time. And the Riverboat is not very far from Wummelsdorf anyway, and they have 8 tables, 7 tables, and except for 1 week where I don't know what happened with Connie, she does a pretty good job of running them. So I don't know if that will change, Paul. I mean, I could talk about it. I'll make a note of it. Big dogs at Wummelsdorf. Plus, if the turnout's not very good at Ho-Ho's, you know, that will have an effect too. Anyone looking for a 6-6? So post that in the members community. Sometimes people are. We have a lot of teams that have lower numbers and are in need of a higher level player. But post that in the Blue Mountain APA members community, and just say you're looking for a team and what your skill levels are. If you need help with that, give us a call or send a message, and good luck with that. All right. Anyway, everyone, I've been on long enough. Appreciate your time. Be kind. All right. Cool.